Most wedding vows include that classic promise, "Till death do us part." But let's be honest, not every marriage makes it that far. In the United States, about half of all marriages end in divorce. Celebrities aren't any different. They fall in love, get married, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But when a celebrity couple splits, it's not just about heartbreak, it's about headlines. The reason behind the breakup, the lawyers, the settlements, and, of course, the whopping sums of money involved all make it newsworthy. Celebrity divorces aren't all the same. Sometimes both partners are in the spotlight, making every detail public. Other times, one person stays out of the limelight but still gets caught up in all the drama. Either way, these breakups can cost millions, sometimes even billions, and can go down smoothly or turn into a full-blown legal war. Here's a look at some of the biggest celebrity divorces, from Michael Jordan's quiet but pricey split with Wanita Vanoy to the courtroom-filled drama between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, Shannon and David Beor. Things were looking up for the Real Housewives of Orange County duo when David surprised Shannon with a birthday and vow renewal ceremony to celebrate 16 years of marriage. It was a grand, emotional gesture, especially after all the effort they put into mending their relationship following David's affair. But sometimes even the best-planned surprises can't fix everything, as Shannon filed for divorce from David in December 2017. According to court documents, David agreed to pay Shannon $1.4 million to balance out the division of their community property. The former couple, who have 3 daughters together, Sophie and twins Stella and Adeline, also arranged for joint legal and physical custody of their kids, with David paying an additional $10,000 a month in spousal and child support. It seems that while the celebration might have been memorable, it wasn't enough to rewrite the ending of their story. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. After just 15 months of marriage, Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016. She walked away with a $7 million settlement, which she claimed she donated to charity. But in reality, that promise was never fully kept, and that was just the start. What followed was years of legal battles, accusations, and a media storm that seemed never-ending. In 2020, Johnny Depp sued The Sun after the UK newspaper labelled him a wife-beater. He lost both the case and the appeal, but that was just the beginning. Then, in 2022, another high-stakes trial kicked off. This time in the US, Depp sued Amber Heard for defamation over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed, where she wrote about the backlash she faced after speaking out about abuse. She never mentioned Depp by name, but he argued that the article still damaged his career. The trial started on April 11, 2022, and it quickly turned into a media spectacle. Both actors hurled accusations of physical, emotional, and mental abuse at each other, making for weeks of shocking testimonies. Then, on June 1st, the jury ruled in Depp's favor, deciding Heard had defamed him. He was awarded $15 million in damages, though Virginia law capped it at $10.35 million. Heard also won one part of her countersuit and was awarded $2 million. Both sides filed appeals, but by December, Heard announced she had settled. Depp later donated the $1 million he received from her to charity, officially closing one of the most explosive celebrity legal battles in recent memory. Ivana and Donald Trump. Donald and Ivana Trump's marriage, which started back in 1977, ended in a divorce that everyone was talking about when it was finalized in 1992. The whole split grabbed plenty of headlines, especially since it came with the added drama of Donald's affair with Marla Maples. On the financial side of things, Ivana reportedly walked away with quite the package, around $14 million, a 45-room mansion in Connecticut, an apartment in Trump Plaza, and access to Mar-a-Lago for 1 month each year. It's almost like the divorce settlement came with its own VIP membership. Their divorce remains one of the most talked about splits out there, showing just how complex and, at times, extravagant high-profile separations can be. Scooter Braun and Yael Cohen. Scooter Braun, the music executive best known for managing big names like Justin Bieber, filed for divorce from Yael Cohen in July 2021 after 7 years of marriage. By September 2022, everything was officially settled. As part of the settlement, Braun had to pay Cohen $20 million as a spousal support buyout, plus $60,000 a month in child support for their 3 kids, Jagger, Levi, and Hart. Cohen walked away with their $30 million Brentwood family home, her 2021 Land Rover Defender, and some valuable pieces of art. Braun, on the other hand, kept his $65 million LA mansion, a private jet, and over 100 classic art pieces from legends like Andy Warhol, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and Jasper Johns. So, while the marriage ended, the assets were definitely split in a way that kept both of them living large. Phil Collins and Orian Bates. When Collins and Bates, then Seavey, split in 2006 after 7 years of marriage, they made headlines with a $46.68 million settlement, the largest in British legal history at the time. Despite their rocky past, the two rekindled their relationship in 2016, giving their romance another shot. But by the end of 2020, things had taken a turn for the worse once again. This time, the breakup wasn't just about parting ways, it came with even more drama. Collins discovered that his ex-wife had secretly married Thomas Bates while still living in their $40 million Miami mansion. That was the last straw. He served her an eviction notice, and in response, she made some eyebrow-raising claims, alleging that Collins refused to shower and that his stench became so pervasive that he turned into a hermit. His lawyers dismissed the accusations as immaterial and impertinent, arguing that they were nothing more than an attempt at extortion. Bates and her new husband eventually moved out of the Miami home in mid-January 2021, but the drama wasn't over yet. While waiting for the judge's decision on her claim to half of the home's proceeds, she even auctioned off Collins' records and awards. In April 2022, a judge finally dismissed her claims, putting an end to this long legal battle. It's safe to say that in this saga, even the smallest details, like who remembers to shower, ended up making a big splash. Melissa Matheson and Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford and Melissa Matheson tied the knot in 1983, but by 2000, things began to fall apart, with their divorce finally wrapping up in 2004. Without a prenup in place, Matheson ended up with a pretty hefty settlement, reportedly around $85 million. And here's a twist. She also secured a slice of Ford's future earnings from the movies they made together, which includes hits like the Indiana Jones series and The Fugitive. Guy Richie and Madonna. Madonna and Guy Richie wrapped up their divorce in December 2008 after almost 8 years of marriage. Reports indicated that Richie received between £50 million and £60 million, roughly $76 million to $92 million, which included their country estate, Ashcombe House, in Wiltshire, England. They tied the knot in December 2000 and have 2 kids together, Rocco, born that same year, and David Banda, whom they adopted from Malawi in 2006. Madonna also has a daughter, Lourdes, from an earlier relationship. After they split, there was quite a bit of legal back and forth over custody of their son, Rocco. In 2016, after some courtroom drama, it was decided that he would live with his father in London. Despite all the ups and downs, both Madonna and Richie have managed to keep their focus on what they do best. Madonna is still rocking the music world and diving into her charitable projects, while Richie continues making films. It's interesting to see how life moves on even after big changes like this. Dr. Dre and Nicole Young. Dr. Dre and Nicole Young's divorce came with a massive price tag, According to reports, the music mogul agreed to pay his ex-wife $100 million as part of their settlement. The payment was split into two chunks, $50 million up front and another $50 million later. At the time, Dr. Dre was worth around $820 million. So while $100 million was a massive payout, it was still only a fraction of his overall wealth. However, it reportedly made up about half of his liquid assets, which is a serious hit. Nicole Young first filed for divorce in June 2020 after 24 years of marriage. The two share two adult children, Truce and Truly, so custody battles weren't part of the equation, just a whole lot of money and assets to divide. Michael and Wanita Jordan. Michael Jordan and Wanita Vanoy's marriage, which kicked off in 1989, ended in 2006 after 17 years together. Their divorce made headlines, not just because of the celebrity status, but also because of the eye-popping settlement. Wanita received about $168 million, making it one of the biggest splits in celebrity history. On top of the cash, Wanita also got a 7-acre mansion in Chicago, where she continued to build her life with their 3 children. After the divorce, Wanita focused on raising her kids and even launched her own business ventures, like running a luxury online resale boutique called Wanita World. Meanwhile, Michael kept doing what he does best, dominating the basketball court and expanding his business empire. It seems that even after a high-profile split, both found ways to keep winning in their own courts. Bill and Melinda Gates. After 27 years of marriage, Bill and Melinda Gates announced their divorce on May 3, 2021. It was a shock to many, especially since they had built so much together, not just as a couple, but as business partners and philanthropists. They had already worked out a private separation agreement, but without a prenup, dividing their massive fortune wasn't going to be simple. The two owned some impressive properties, including a massive 66,000 square foot waterfront mansion in Medina, Washington, worth around $130 million, and a $43 million home in Del Mar, California. At the time, Bill's net worth was estimated at $130.5 billion. Even though he stepped down as Microsoft chairman in 2014, he still held a small percentage of the company, plus investments in other businesses, not to mention a collection of luxury cars and private jets. Melinda walked away with a major settlement. Reports say she received at least $6.3 billion in stocks and later secured $12.5 billion for her own philanthropic work after leaving the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. As of early 2025, her net worth is estimated at around $15 billion. Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos. When Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, was named the world's richest man in June 2018, his divorce the following year was bound to be one of the most expensive ever. After a 25-year marriage, splitting things 50-50 still leaves you extremely wealthy. Since Washington is a community property state, everything earned or acquired during the marriage is typically divided equally, unless a prenup says otherwise. But instead of dragging things through an ugly legal battle, Jeff and Mackenzie worked out the details privately. By April 2019, their divorce was finalized, with Mackenzie walking away with about $36 billion, instantly making her one of the richest women in the world. Rather than just holding on to that fortune, she put a huge chunk of it to good use. By June 2020, she had already given away $1.7 billion to charity and kept the donations coming, supporting nonprofits all over the country. And that's a wrap on today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.